Hi YouTube, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Doug had an idea for a name of a video or whatever, but first he called it Barb's Soul Enlightenment Dispensary Corporation, but then he turned it into Barb's Soul Enlightenment Dispensary Empourium. That's more inclusive. That includes more. It's all encompassing. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny this morning. And I had a little, I'll just call it an Antichrist, this kid over on my Facebook. Well, yeah, he's, because of the religious doctrine that has been twisted by those with ill intent, has been kind of a little attacker to me. And I've been ignoring him for the most part until today. He made a post, and I've put cabal, either light or dark cabal or that type of thing, on a post that I'm talking about the cabal. And this little creature had a meme this morning, or a post he had made, that said people that put cabal on the titles of their videos or whatever is just for clickbait. And I wrote there, no. I said, when you're raised by Jesuit and Eastern Star and you're talking to those other people, it may be a few, but they're on that same level. It's not just for clickbait, because we know what we're talking about, so just let them know. I wasn't mean to them or anything, but I'm about ready to get mean. I'm just kind of like, it's been about maybe 2 months, a month, or somewhere a little over a month. He's the one that friended me through friends, and it's like, well, guess what, Sparky, you got yours coming pretty close here. Just keep it up. So anyway, I hope you're all well. Cheers. One of these days, he'll either stop and back down and realize that he might be able to learn something, because he's certainly being annoying for the mere reason that that's about the only intelligence he has at this point. So maybe God might help him, that God he doesn't believe in. Like there's Rabbi Simon Jacobson. He's a pretty cool dude, and I'm not big on any kind of rabbis, typically and normally. But he has a saying that he heard from an elder that goes like, the God you don't believe in, he's talking to an atheist, is also the same God I don't believe in. And that's pretty deep, and it kind of says it all, you know. But you can't argue the semantics of life or spirituality with somebody that's just in the physical. And if that's all he did want to do is fight, well, I have my moments too. So, but I'm just letting him do what he wants to do for a while here. But once a week, I'll write something to him, or somebody else will write something, and I'll like their comment, because, he's just out there acting salty because that's all he's got to do, evidently. I don't know, why don't you just go grab your girlfriend and wife and give her a kiss and stop being such a crab ass, you wretched little thing, you know. Anyway, or a friend, go hug your friend. Sounds like you need a hug, you poor little thing. But anyway, it was raining this morning, and yesterday we had got some rain barrels out and captured the water, so that'll be nice. And I went out and got some this morning, and yeah, more water to wash with and do things until we get that fixed. So, but lucky for the rain, Yeah, that was cool. Got some exercises done, and I realized yesterday I'm sitting there. I was on a 007 live stream, and he was telling me about a mini cam. It was a software. I thought he was talking about I had gotten this mini camera, a mini cam to go, like you can put it on your computer or whatever, and it also comes with software, but it's a physical camera. And I had even studied software in college in '95, and it didn't register at the time. I was having trouble hearing for a while too, and the earbuds were bothering me, and so I was like, yeah. And I had smoked a little bit too, so maybe that's all of what it was. But yeah, I was a little goofy at first for a minute there, and that's like, I think, I mean, I've gone live, but to actually be a guest on somebody's show, that was only the second time I've done that. And I've been asked before, but I rarely will do that. Probably if it is on Richard's, or might be a couple other people um, that I would go on live again. But yeah, it depends. And it also depends on the other people on the panel and what they're talking about. And it was interesting, but I was actually getting tired because I had already been up, well, didn't sleep well, and then got up about 5 o'clock yesterday morning. So I was already kind of, and really buzzed on coffee. I had drank a lot of coffee yesterday. Well, not a lot, but I mean, in earlier than I normally would. I don't think any much more than I would is usually about, oh, maybe 3 cups tops. Used to be like 3 pots of coffee a day. So I've, yeah, really cut down. I think I even went a day like last week with no coffee. So I don't know. I didn't make a pot. I might have had a sip of what was left from the day before, and then didn't feel like making any because that's all I wanted was just a little. But yeah, but I used to drink an awful lot of it. So, well, when you're 30s, 40s, and if you have kids and work or whatever you're doing, those cups of coffee really do help, you know. I've never been one for like the sugary drinks or any sodas or anything like that. They pretty much, if I drink sugar, it makes me kind of ill, you know. About the closest thing I'll get to even juices, depending on the juice. But I'm not really big on all that. But now, if it's a milkshake, like a chocolate milkshake, even a strawberry occasionally, but yeah, a chocolate milkshake, I might turn it down if it's during the day, but if it's like about 9 o'clock at night, I'm probably not going to refuse it if I was offered one. But I'd have to eat something with it because I can't just. I've tried that. In fact, as a younger person, I had like got a giant milkshake and just had that, and I really got sick, you know. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna make a cucumber salad later and some chicken breasts, and that's about all I'm gonna do today. I think. Doug does have that winch right outside the door now, but we have to get it up the steps, and he got the tractor in there, and he said, oh, that's what it was. It slipped out of the bucket. So, and he had already lifted it once to get it in there. And so there it sits for a little while. And I don't know. We'll just see how that goes. That's to, if some of you don't know, we have to pull the pipes out of our well and take the sand point off and put a new sand point and repound it. So it's usually easier going back in because it's been about, the sand points plug up about every 20 years or so. If you have more people in the house using the water, that will happen more quickly. I think one time, yeah, it's been about, this will be, yeah, within 40 years, a couple times. So, anyway, and I've done that before by myself with a kid, a neighbor kid, so quite some time ago. It's sort of hard work. Yeah, but Doug is thinking about getting a automatic pounder. That way he's got his air that he can just bring in the house from the shop and use the compressor to pound we got a pounding cap. We do have a hand, like a post pounder, and the drilling cap, the pounding cap. Those are expensive. So at least we have the things that we need, so we don't have to invest in a lot more other things. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know, not a whole lot on my mind today. Just, I don't know. Just thinking about, I wonder how old this Antichrist is. I mean, he's not just picking on me. He's picking on everybody on Facebook, and it's like, where did you come from? I didn't look at the other friends we have in common. I guess he's enjoying what he's doing. And it's one thing to question something, but to treat people that are probably decades his senior as like ignorant because of their spiritual belief. I don't know. He leaves something to be desired, I think, or I think God desires his heart, so I'm going to keep trying. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. But anyway. But he comes up with some good stuff, though. Yeah. It's okay. The Jesus you don't believe in is the Jesus I also don't believe in. But now, should we talk about the Christ Spirit? You know, yeah. If people are carrying that, you're fully aware. Maybe too aware. Oh. I shared some Ray Stevens songs over in my community, and yeah, I was trying to think of the name of it, and I was humming it. It's Came Jones. Um, I thought it was Along Came John, but I looked it up and I got the song, and then I started looking at his other songs, and it's like, oh yeah, that dude wrote some really good music back in the day. Some of them are like 1954, like, and then into the 70s, and comical stuff, a lot of it. He's got one song that was pretty popular called The Streak. It's kind of comical, but see, when that was written, there was all kinds of people like running out of their apartments bare naked, and like another person actually on like a football field, or just weird, weird things. And uh, I had my kids with me one time. We drove by this picnic area, and this woman saw my ex, exposed herself, not knowing my children were in the back seat. I did feel like going back there if my kids hadn't been there. Well, if my kids hadn't been there, I wouldn't have been as mad. But yeah, the whole thing pissed me off. It's like, yeah, okay, woman, if that's what you were. But yeah, that's not the only time. I mean, I've been at parties and had like a woman do that in front of my kids again. And this was a birthday party for a woman that I knew. And I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, I'm out of here. Put my kids in my car, and I told my ex, if you want to stay, I do not care, but we're going, you know. That is the same year I made plans to come back to my home state, get my own place, and kick him out. I did give him the opportunity to have his own room and just act like a roomie, but he couldn't do that. Well, the thing is, it went even deeper than that. He was harming my children, and then he was letting his friends like pat my ass and shit like that. It's like, okay, you creatures, I'm done with all of you. And I had to get really strong in a lot of ways to kick his ass out of there, and I did, physically. And he wasn't a little dude either. So I had to really plan and work out and all kinds of things to make what I needed to happen happen. So I did break his leg, and I threw him out of the house with the car keys. Put knives in the door because if in the door jams, if he had gotten back in, I would have been dead. It wasn't a joke. But I had to time everything perfectly and do it just right, and then make sure I had some kind of protection, that type of thing. So yeah, that's a while back. So I've had a lot of weirdos around me in my life. Not much lately, just one main one, but I guess not any more weird than I am. I'm a little strange myself. That's what my name means. Barbara means stranger or alien, or one meaning for it. And my middle name's Susan, so I'm like strange Lily. Okay, thanks, Ma. That wasn't my first name though. I was Kathleen Marie, then baby girl, then something else, and I was brought back to the orphanage. This is all the Masons that had done whatever they did and brought me back 2 weeks, and then I was adopted out again and given another name, and yeah, oh yeah, I have a lot of names. Ones that I actually could legally use. I don't. So yeah, it's been a long life. Kinda. Some days, I mean, the thoughts and all the things I've been through, not really how I feel, it seems like almost like a blink of the eye in a lot of ways, but in some respects, the amount of stuff that I've done in my years, it's like, now that part is like sometimes almost unbelievable to me. Or I'll tell stories out here, and I know that people might be thinking, well, that just can't be, or that's not true, or whatever, but it is, you know, and it sounds so far-fetched, you know, like unprovable type of stuff. Like the dark cabal, if you oppose them and they are your foes, you're going to get it from every angle, no matter where you go, and you'd be fully aware of that, and so would they, and they would never admit it because they'd be a part of that, you know. So yeah, and if they weren't a part of that and they knew that they were going through similar things, then they'd recognize that in you too, you know. Oh, yeah. Let's see, what else is going on? Not a whole heck of a lot. Just haven't been sleeping the greatest because just sponge baths, they bug me. I can't get wet enough, you know, for long enough, you know. But it's okay. Kind of reminds me of camping, you know. Oh, I'll live, but it does. I've had to do this a lot in my life. I don't know why, but it seems like it. Packing water and all kinds of weird, hard, laborious things, you know. So, well, I think that's probably about it today because I got that, I, I'm concerned about getting a salad made that I'll probably hang out on the computer for a while here, but I want to get that done. Um, I get tired in the evening, so it's like, and I don't feel like cooking then, so if I don't get something ready now, then I have to just grab whatever there is, and it might not be the healthiest, you know, so I want to get that out of the way. Um, I'll probably be back tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends on if we're going to start working on that well and how much I'll have to help or whatever. And I do want to help because I want it to go um, as quickly and as easily for Doug as it can too. So yeah, I I help him. I'm not, and it is a trading type operation, and it should be with any relationship anyway. But this is extra special. It's called "If You Don't Treat Me Right, I Will Not Do Anything for You." That's what that's called, and I will still expect you to do for me because, in that respect, I feel entitled for more than one reason, and I'm sticking to it. So, anyway, but I still don't feel entitled, and I will help, so I'll humble myself like that, but that isn't actually the facts. It's just because I'm a nice person. Otherwise, he'd have to do it by himself, and he wouldn't have a choice. And it goes even deeper than that, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, just saying hi, being a little silly. I think it's residue from yesterday. No. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful week and what you have left of it. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.